935 KDAY, Cece and Romeo. Super excited. We got the queen in the building. Everybody, me and Romeo are geeked up personally for this. We got Ciara in the studio with us.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey! Thank you so much for making time. You're so busy and yet you are here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for this amazing goodie bag that I've already started eating out of.
Yeah, she has, low-key.
This is so awesome. So happy to be here. Thank you.
We're so excited, and I want to jump into it. We know you have a new single, but Ciara, I follow you on Instagram, and I am a huge fan, and I love that, you know, I feel like I have a connection with you because they call you Cici, and my name is Cici. But, you know, in your song Level Up, you talk about, you know, prayed up and then leveled up, and I always thought about, like, man, that's dope. I wonder, like, personally, like 3 things that helped you level up personally, though, to you. Like
3 things that helped me level up? Ooh.
We know
My
you got
babies,
deals across the board, but
my
personally,
babies, personally, my babies, my husband, because my family is like my greatest motivation. Like they're my why. You know, so I would say definitely my babies, my family. I would say all the girls around the world.
Yes.
There you go.
I feel inspired when I, you know, get to have conversations with women. Like we share our stories together. It inspires me. Like we gotta like, and when I see a woman like doing her thing, I get inspired. I'm like, I gotta like level up. So I think, you know, women for sure. The 3rd thing that has pushed me to level up, inspired me to level up. Fans.
There you go. I like that one.
Yeah,
I was
my
waiting
fans.
for us.
That's
Yeah, no, yeah.
With that fuel. Just,
Yeah,
you know
my
what I mean?
fans. Listen,
Yeah.
my fans show me so much love, and they want the best for me. And I say, you know, I would say it's so funny when you hear you see all the comments and your fans' opinions, and they have so much to say, but they're about that life.
Yeah, they are.
Like that is the reason why I am where I am today. Right, I wouldn't be here without the support of my fans. You know, and literally riding with me, like to the point to where I see faces and I'm like, I know them by name, you know, because they're that
That's
loyal.
beautiful, though. That's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a
really
blessing
to have that connection.
It's inspiring.
It really is. And I think about your career and the fact that you still have that desire to want to keep pushing through. Because you do. You have an amazing family. There's other things you could be doing, but you still want to give us music. So we thank you for that, right?
Thank you.
And with that being said, when it comes to singing, you know you got it like that. When it comes to dancing, which one was your first love? Because you have a whole new generation that's into you now.
That's tough. My first love, I would say it was kind of like a combination because I was like dancing before I could talk, or not dancing before I could talk, because I talked before I was like 3 and 2, but I was just really like moved by music when I was young, like when I was freshly walking, like, and obviously the music moves you. So I was doing both at the same time, and you know, both of them like they fuel each other, and they both touch me so deeply. Like it's something so special when you watch someone dance like in a special way. It's like it just makes you feel something, and then when you hear a song and the chords, you know, play a certain way in a song, or the bass hits a certain way, it's just a feeling that you cannot describe that it gives you. So I kind of think I fell in love with both of them at the same time.
Okay, we can take that. We'll take that answer.
Yeah,
I think so.
But going back to dancing, you're such an amazing performer, dancer, choreographer. When it comes to dancing, who do you look at to inspire you?
Oh, honestly, a lot of the dancers that I'm surrounded by are like, they're incredible. Like there's some dancers from LA. There's my girl who's been in my career since I was 14 years old. Her name's Jamaica Craft. She's one of the best dancers like ever. She's like the secret sauce of like,
what's
dance.
her name?
Jamaica Craft.
Shout out to Jamaica Craft.
And she's like, now she's working like as my creative director. She's been in my life for like over almost 20 years. I don't want to mark time, but she's been with me for a long time, and we've grown together. So she's amazing. Obviously growing up, I loved MJ. I love Janet. That's like my sister. Yeah, I mean, I think Chris Brown is dope too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely dope.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a younger, like an essence of an MJ.
He's got incredible pocket and rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got sauce to him.
He definitely got sauce to him. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk to you about, is it true that you were named after a fragrance?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So my mom was actually like in the hospital, And my dad brought her a gift from the commissary because my dad's in the military.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was in the Air Force. My dad was in the Army. And he bought the fragrance, the Revlon fragrance, as a gift to her, like before she was going to give birth to me.
Isn't that called like a pushing? What is it
I
called?
mean, I
Like
think I got to ask him if that was his push gift. But if my dad's always a guy that will bring flowers on a random day. So
oh, your dad sounds dope.
he's just being
Chivalry
him.
right there.
Yes.
Man.
So he brought her some fragrance and a fragrance, and it was by Revlon, and it's called Ciara. And she was torn between naming me Bianca or Ciara.
Oh, wow. It could have been Sierra Bianca.
My niece
just
would have
saying,
loved that. 'cause
yeah.
I'm
That's
Bianca.
not bad.
No,
That's
it's
not bad.
CB.
Yeah. But okay, here's the question I'm going to ask. This is the juicy question. Do you still have the fragrance? Do you guys at least have that Sierra fragrance
I
in
don't
your
have
home?
that exact bottle, but what's crazy is many years later, I signed a deal with Revlon, which was pretty cool. And I do have a bottle from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that.
She spoke life. My dad actually was speaking life. My mom was speaking life. And then it just, they just kind of spoke into the future that I was going to be signed to Revlon.
There they go.
Manifested. That's what it is.
I'm mad at that.
Okay, so we want to talk about working with Missy Elliott. We know through social media, yes, I follow her, I stan Ciara. And Missy Elliott's, she's a legend in herself, but you guys are real friends, like true friends.
That's my sister.
You know what I mean? Anything that you've learned from Missy Elliott that you can pass on to us and the fans that we can take with us?
Oh, my gosh.
I just feel like being in the studio with her, you could just learn so much just sitting with her and conversating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I think is so amazing about Missy is that, when you see her, you understand why she's lasted as long and is in a lane of her own. She really is that girl. Like, she really is, like, she's always thinking left in the right way. Like, she's always like, it's like, huh? Like, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like, I feel like I think pretty good. Like, I can think a little outside the box, but she's like outside the box in her thoughts. And it's just so special. Like, that's just her natural genius. And I believe that why she has stood the test of times is because of her humility. Mm-hmm. She's an amazing person, right? She's just the ultimate, like, girl, sister.
I love that.
Like, that's who she is.
Yeah.
And I just believe her humility is why she's lasted so long. And her creative, like, ways that she thinks, her genius is why she's also lasted so long. So, yeah, I think, but I like the humility part of it the most.
And you had a chance to see that hands-on, being in those studio sessions, which is so amazing, which leads us to let's talk about your new music.
Yeah.
You got something new going on right now. Tell KDAY Nation, tell all of our listeners out there what's really going on because they can check it out right now.
You can check it out right now. I'm so excited because this album is really special to me. Every album is special. Mm-hmm. But I will say that this album has hit me a little differently on, to the core. Just because I loved my process of how I approached it. Like, I was very intentional with this album. Mm-hmm. And I worked with my friend Tehran on this album, who I did Level Up with. We did I Bet. We did many other songs of mine. And we have such an incredible chemistry. And I come from the school, so I'll paint the picture for you. When I first put out Goodies, there was no digital impact on a performance of a record. When I put out 1-2 Step, there was digital impact on the performance of a record and how it charted.
Right.
So I got a little bit of the old school, disc only, and then digital. I got to experience both sides of it, right? So how digital can impact the performance of a record.
Right.
And I say that to say that I'm an old soul. The music that I grew up loving and projects that I loved, there was always a consistent hand in it. There was always something that was like constant, whether it was a producer, a writing team. There was something that was like the same throughout. And that was important to me to have this cohesiveness for this project. So from day one, my friend Tehran and we got together and I was very, very intentional in our conversation. He was too. We talked about what we were like feeling and vibing on. And he was right there with me, vice versa. He went away, came back like 2 weeks later. We jumped right in. The foundation was set when he came back, which was amazing. Exactly where I wanted to be. And then literally my album, like, probably like 2 weeks. Like, this is the fastest I've ever done music. We were in the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So I was hungry to like make music. Like, I was like so excited and the juices were flowing so amazingly. So that's what the project experience was like. And then as you said, my new song, Better Thangs, featuring my girl Summer Walker, is my newest release. And Better Things is just, it's for me, when we were going through the times of the pandemic, I felt like the pandemic took a lot from us and also made a lot out of us in a good way. You know, I feel like we kind of were leaning into love a bit more because we needed love more.
We connected a little bit more.
We connected more as humans, right? It it humbled us, I think, in a necessary way. You know, you couldn't do but so much. You know, and so I was like, you know, you can never have enough love. And the world needed more love, and you can never have enough love. And the world needed more joy, and you can never have enough joy. And the world definitely needed some more dance.
Yes.
So for me, that was kind of like the core elements that I had pouring into the record. And ultimately, through Better Things, it is about joy. It is about getting the better things that you deserve and that you want and that you need out of life. Like, it is about finding that ultimate joy for yourself. And so that was my vision with the record. And working with Summer was really special. You know, I actually played her a few songs, and I was like hoping she would like that one. I didn't want to like make the decision for her what she wanted to do, and she did. So I was like, it's kind of crazy how organic our connection has been as girls, but also like with this record.
That's dope, man.
And I feel like that's why it's been received so well, because it was made organically.
Hey.
You know, so I love that. And when you decided to team up, was Summer Walker like on the top of your head, like, I want to team up?
For this, yeah, for sure. I knew she was someone that I wanted to work with. I worked with her on her last album, and it was just only right that I feel like, keep our good vibes going. I just love who she is as an artist. I love her tone. Like, I think it's special. You know, so I was like excited to work with her. And like, again, this album is also like super like R&B at the core. Even though I'm making you move now. I'm making you move and groove.
You always do that.
Come on now.
Yeah.
It's R&B at the core. So I just felt like it would be perfect to work with her. Like, she's got a special thing to her. And so she was top of my list to work with for this album.
Oh, I love it.
I
Better
have a
Things.
random question. You know, being an artist in the studio, and a lot of people in LA, they inspired by you and they want to be that. What's the way you lay down your tracks? Like, when you're in the studio, do you lay down the backgrounds first and then do a dummy track and do background?
Oh, it just depends. There's not a structured thing. Yeah, it's not a structured thing, because each song can sometimes require you to do something different. Like, you know, if I'm writing a record, sometimes I like writing in the room, and then sometimes I like going in the booth and just freestyling. But something I always do when I'm writing is I play along with melodies outside in the room for a second, and then I always go into the studio and just hum out all different melodies.
Oh, yeah.
And like pick from the melodies which one that we like.
And then put the lyrics
and then I put the lyrics to it. And then sometimes I'm like, I just want to go in and just vibe out. But I just want to play around, so I'll do that too. But it's just really where the track takes me.
It has to move you a certain way.
Yeah.
And then that's the way you lay it out.
Yeah.
Man,
Music is feeling.
I feel like Low K could be a producer. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding. So we've got this segment on our show called This or That, and we're going to kind of put you on the spot, but it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, and it's a question. So this or that, like, would you rather perform at the Super Bowl, or would you rather have your husband's team play at the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's tough. You know what? I'm gonna put my husband first. I'm gonna put my husband first. It is my dream to perform at the Super Bowl, but I mean, sports is like a whole different beast. So I just love seeing him in his element, and I love when he went. Like when I win, he wins. When he wins, I win. And so I don't know. I'm gonna be a little selfless on that one and say my husband.
I love that for your hubby. Yeah. Shout out to hubby.
Yeah, add one more Lombardi to that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Why not do that?
Why not?
You know, when I think about the Obamas, when I think about Jay-Z and Beyonce, you know, people talk about you guys too as well. So we just applaud like the positivity within your relationship that overflows to other people. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same way about my queen. Like, I try to mirror that same image. You know what I'm saying? Her fiance is right here. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
As a matter of fact, Ciara,
that's so sweet.
I when it comes to you, I don't even want to get a little emotional, because I really am a fan. And I love how you champion for women so much. Like, that's what made me fall in love with you. I loved your music, but then when I was seeing it on Instagram, it just was like, man, she has so much class and dignity, and she holds herself up like a real queen. Like, you really champion women, and you are a light for us. So when I love seeing your relationship with your hubby, and obviously you were getting married, me and my fiance, and you guys have such a beautiful relationship. Is there any advice that you can give us that we can take into our new marriage?
Oh man, forgiveness is really important. Like, so Russ and I have a rule where you have to, like, if someone is like, you know, out of pocket. Now, we're never out of pocket crazy, but like, you know, maybe I kind of irritated him a little bit or vice versa. We have to be big enough to say, will you forgive me? And I say that because I think, pretty much everything that you go through in a marriage when you're equally yoked is never going to be that crazy. And even if it's that crazy, like have that place you come back to as your ground zero, and forgiveness is really important. I think it's so important. Like, and you feel lighter when you do that. And sometimes I'm like, will you forgive me? Because I'm stubborn, and he's stubborn too.
Yeah.
But it's the best feeling, right?
Yeah.
There's a certain word that is just never, you cannot say it. So when you get committed, that word should never come up. And you should know what I mean when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It starts with a D. You don't go there. That's not an option. And I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys, I'm spiritual.
We are too.
Yeah. So praying, being able to have that, like we always say, Jesus at the center of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to do that, like us going to church together is always beautiful. I love that he can lead me. I think that's important too. Like I like letting him lead me. And I think those 3 things I think about, forgiveness, praying together, a family that prays together, stays together is what they say, and just, I mean, when you're equally yoked, it's like, it's more than half the battle. So like, have fun, man. Have a good time.
Awesome.
We do date nights every Friday.
Oh, that's dope.
What we doing?
Cece, tell him, Cece.
What we doing? What's your name? Guap. Let's go. What are you doing?
Yeah. No, what's crazy is because we talked to Paul Wall and he told us the same thing. He said, Paul Wall said, you know what? Pray together. Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Pray together. Pray together, forgiveness, have fun, make your time that you dedicate to each other. Friday nights are our nights because Russ, when he plays football, that's his off night, like that structure for the guys. Like, because otherwise it's like, it's pretty intense and rolling throughout the week. But at that time to reset, like you still feel like fresh. Like I feel like we're going on 8 years now of being together, and I feel like a little kid when I'm looking forward to date night because it's something that we're like dedicating to ourselves. Our weeks are crazy. Like he's doing what he's doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. So the little time that we get is so precious. But when we're like intentionally looking forward to getting dressed up, getting sexy,
yes,
it's fun. Like you look forward to it.
What are you guys doing?
You got to make it pop.
I love it. Guap gotta make it pop.
Gotta make it pop. And don't stop.
That is dope.
Yes.
Look, congratulations on everything, seriously. And the fact that you're still giving us great music, we thank you for that. Yay. Again, like I said, you could ride up to the sunset. You've done so much for this industry. But the fact you still want to give, we salute you on that. One more time, congratulations on the new single, and we're just excited to see what's next.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we
All
love
eyes
you.
On you.
And thank you so much for even making the time. Like, you don't have to be as humble as you are, and you are. You still are, and you're still grounded, and we appreciate that. People like us. So
you guys are so sweet. Seriously, I'm grateful because this is why I do what I do. When I get to sit down with people like you and feel this sweet love, it motivates me. So I thank you guys, and it makes me feel good that you guys are enjoying the new record because it really is special. There's so much more in store on this album, and I cannot wait for everyone to hear it. And just get ready to have a good time. More joy, more love, more dance.
So when you come to LA to perform?
Hey!
That part.
That's the $1 million question.
I can't wait to come to LA to perform.
We
Listen.
can't wait to embrace you for sure.
Let's make it happen.
We will be there, front row.
Let's go.
I'm telling you, on our date night. Hey, there you go.
Let's go.